Let's talk for a minute about perfectionism. Over the last week or so, I've come to a really interesting conclusion. Now, this conclusion is not based on thousands of pieces of data, so I'm not 100% sure exactly whether it's accurate or not. But here's the observation I've made. I work with groups of people who have big businesses, not huge, but $1 million+ business. And I also work with groups of people who are just getting started. And the thing I've come to realize is that perfectionism, first off, let's define it for a minute. Perfectionism, basically, I believe, is procrastination when you're using the excuse of it's not perfect, so it's not ready to go out. And what I've realized is that I've noticed that almost nobody with big businesses struggles with this. So as I look at all the contrast between my bigger business clients and the people that I work with in my smaller business, almost all the perfectionism is down here, not up here. In fact, what I've noticed is almost exactly the opposite is true. Most of my larger business people that I work with don't deal with perfectionism at all. In fact, most of them have figured out ways to get rid of procrastination almost entirely out of their life, which raises a really interesting question. Is your perfectionism, which you're continuing in because you believe it's somehow a good thing, is that the thing that is holding you back? Is it possible that the difference between you right now and where you want to be is simply that concept of perfectionism? Or let's do this. Let's take perfectionism off the table and say procrastination. Procrastination oftentimes has a root cause. Most of the time, there is something underneath it. And one of the things I've realized is that for many people, that root cause is they're afraid. They're afraid of success. They're afraid of failure. They're afraid if they put it out there and no one will buy it, then that will somehow prove that they are not worthy to be there. That 13-year-old who used to make fun of them when they were growing up is right. And you know what? They're not. Yes, if you put it out there, it may not work. But that doesn't mean that you personally are not worthy. That does not mean that you personally should have a problem with your self-esteem because something you tried didn't work. What it means is that group of people with that particular offer, they didn't need that. They didn't want that at that time. And so you got to fix it by fixing the offer, fixing how you communicate it, something like that. But it doesn't mean that they rejected you. That's a different thing. Rejection of you doesn't look like not buying. That's something totally different. So my question for you is this. If it is true that perfectionism and procrastination could be the thing that is the difference between those who are successful and those who are not, what can you do to solve this problem in your personal and business life? What could you do? I think that's worth thinking about a lot. To get to the bottom of this, to figure out what is the real root cause for you doing this, and then start questioning whether that's accurate or not. And more importantly, how you can get rid of that. That may be worth actually going and getting some professional help. I don't know what it is, but it is absolutely worth getting over that problem so that you can go from here to here. Wouldn't that be nice? Could it be that the difference between your life here and the difference between your life here is simply getting rid of that one thing? How about if we try that? It could work wonders in your life and in your business. Let me know what you think. I may be totally wrong. I may totally have just taken a small data set and projected it to a much bigger one. But I have a suspicion that I might be right. I'd like to know your thoughts. Put them in the comments. This is Don Crowther saying, just go do this stuff.